Hey everyone, it's Eric with FirearmTutorials.com, and today I'm going to talk about the AAC handy rifle chambered in 300 Blackout. So I recently picked one of these up. I just wanted to kind of get my feet wet with 300 Blackout. Wasn't really sure what to expect since it's just a single shot break open action, but it's not too expensive, so I figured I'd go for it. And I've liked it actually more than I thought I would. So some of the main features of this gun: you've got a 16.1 inch barrel. It's a light profile barrel, but it's still on the thicker side. It's got a phosphate finish, which is actually pretty nice looking. Goes into the receiver as well. Overall, it comes in at 29.5 inches, so just under 30 inches. So it's very, very short, and it's fairly light as well. Like I said, you can feel the barrel weight a little bit, but other than that, it's still a pretty light rifle. It's, like I said, break action only, single action. There's no safety on this, no manual button safety like you would find on a traditional rifle or shotgun. Once the chamber is loaded, you lock it. It won't fire in double action. You put it into single action, then it will fire. If it is cocked into single action, you can't open the breech. I think that's one of the safety features. So you've got a little bit of a recoil pad on here. Not sure that it's necessary, but depending on what kind of loads you're running out of this thing, it may help you a little bit. Threaded in 5/8 by 24 for a suppressor. If you guys have one, I actually have not shot this gun suppressed yet, but it should be a lot of fun. That will also add a little bit of weight to the gun, which I think it needs. Like I said, with nothing on the end of this, no flash hider, no brake, when you pull the trigger, you're going to see some flash out of the end of this. It's just one of those things. I went with just a cheap TRS-25, a Bushnell red dot sight. I didn't plan on shooting this thing out past 100 yards. And it's worked great for me. And those are pretty much my main impressions. I'm going to take a look at it on the desk so you can get a better. Okay, so here's what we've got, just a closer look. You see it's got a couple attachments for a sling. It's got an interesting finish here. I'll give you a closer look at it. See where it says AAC on it. It's kind of cool. The other side, it's marked by H&R where it comes from. See, handy rifle. This lettering here is really hard to read. It says H&R 1871, but it looks like the bottom or parts of this engraving is deeper than other parts, so I don't know if that was just a mess up at the factory, if they're all like that, but just something I did notice. Like I said, the only thing I did to this gun when I got it was just drop some oil down in here because the action was a little sticky. You can see it's just got a little remnants of brass in there. But overall, it's a pretty fun gun to shoot, like I said. You see I've just got the cheap TRS-25 here. I actually lost the caps adjusting it, so I have to see if I can get some new ones. But I really like this finish. It's a phosphate finish, but it looks pretty cool on here. It's got a nice texture to it. Then, of course, the end is threaded, like I mentioned earlier. So, like I said, I'm not crazy about the stock. It's just a cheap plastic stock. I'm glad that they put a nice rail on the top here so you can put a couple different size optics on here. That's pretty cool. Now, I'm going to talk about the trigger. So, the trigger... Usually on rifles, you want not too light of a trigger, but you obviously don't want a heavy one either, especially when the gun is this short and this light. Any amount of movement that you do while you're aiming translates, down the muzzle end, so accuracy becomes a little bit of an issue with that. So if you look at the trigger here, once I put it into single action, you see there's no play at all. So basically the only time it moves is when it actually breaks. But I feel like this trigger is just a little too heavy. It's got a slight amount of over travel. And then, of course, there's really no reason to even talk about the reset since we're working with a single shot. I do like that it's just the extractor and not the ejector. So you guys that reload, this is a really easy way to save every piece of brass you fire out of this thing, because you just pull it out and put it in your pocket when you're done. So plus for that, especially with 300 Blackout, since it's hard to find and expensive. So I think that's good. But other than that, I mean, I don't have any real complaints. Like I said, the stock is not terrible, but you know, it is what it is. I think there's at least one, maybe two aftermarket stocks you can put on this, but I don't think they're much of an improvement over this one. The trigger, I think it'll smooth out a little with use. I've put about 200 rounds through it, so if I really wanted to, I could probably open it up and you know, do a little bit of work to it, but I don't like working on triggers just because, you know, I just like to keep them stock for the most part for safety reasons. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's the Handi rifle, so it's a good buy, especially if you're looking to get into 300 Blackout. AAC makes another rifle that is the what do they call it? It's almost like a Remington 700, but it's a bolt action one, which is a little more expensive than this. They both have the 16-inch barrel, and they look pretty similar online. The stock's a little bit different, but like I said, you really can't go wrong with this. And I don't know, it comes in about $350 or so, depending on where you get it. Solid construction, I like that. So it's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. So thanks for watching.